9 o'clock?
Yeah, we put here.
Oh, I thought I heard you.
There he is. I call meeting to order now at 9:08. Jason, you want to introduce our guest?
Yeah, this is Matthew Rosenbaum. He is, his engagement letter is in your packet. He's an attorney who's just new to the area. We'll go around first and introduce ourselves. I'll start. Jason, you know me. Go this way.
Darwin Fanton. Ed Zoller.
Brian Louch, Chairman.
Kate Williams, Operations Manager.
Bob Salzman.
Dave Evans.
But you must go here.
Everybody knows here.
All right.
What time do you start?
9 o'clock. We have 2 minutes to approve. First one from the January 12th general meeting. The minutes are in your packet. Should have received them.
Did you want to do the agenda approval thing?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was in rough.
Oh, that's new, right?
Yeah, we're gonna start doing it. Just
All right.
because there was something I had up in the agenda. Kate, do you remember what it was? We talked about it Friday. There's something I was going to bring up on the agenda. Oh, you'll see that I made some mistakes in the minutes. It says 2025, 2025, 3/2025 in the minutes. Those are, well, should all be, so it says January 12th, 2025 instead of 2026. So
Next meeting's
in the bold.
February 25.
So yeah, all the 2025s need to be changed to 2026. That's the only thing I have for the agenda. My bad.
This is something the county does at all their meetings now. They approve the agenda, that way you can't be throwing randoms into the middle of it. I don't know why.
All right. Well, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda as created by Jason.
Doesn't he have to ask for any additions to the agenda before we approve it?
Yeah, any additions or corrections? I had those corrections, those 2025, 2026. I have nothing to add.
Just so we're clear in the future, so that if something comes up, we can't address it.
That way, yeah, ideally, I think the reason they did it down in the county is because some of the legislators were randomly bringing stuff up later in the meeting that nobody had on their radar. And
kind of.
or department heads, would suddenly say, oh, by the way. And
All right.
this is like,
And for this body, it would allow for you guys to look and say, we don't need to talk about this, we can scratch that. So we can scratch or add,
Okay. So is there any
Kind of formality.
additions? We have the corrections. I hear none. Motion to approve is corrected.
Oh my God.
Second.
Ed'll second.
All in favor?
I
Opposed? Motion carried. Now on to the minutes of 2026, January 12th. Any additions, deletions, corrections? I did see same thing in the throughout the minutes. There is 2025 February next meeting. 25. I don't know if there's any others. December 25.
Well, December 25 would be correct.
Yeah, I know. I guess.
So the next meeting in the first should be 6.
Yeah, that's the only one I really see, I guess.
Oh, and then the second meeting, the same problem.
Okay. Yes, okay.
I can fix those two easy.
All right. Motion to approve as revised for the January 12th.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Dave?
Dave. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We had a special board meeting on January 29th, 2026. We have a revision of the next meeting on that one as well. Motion to approve as revised.
Ed will make that motion.
Second,
Bob will.
all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Treasurer's report, Dar. Starting with phase, the 0024. That was the first one in the packet.
Yep.
That is our phase two. We've been kind of calling it our demo money, 'cause we've done a lot of demo out of it. It's less restricted. Is there any questions? We have you can see we have 43,590 of funds in the account from HCR that we're spending down. That is, what is the main of that, KG? Mr. Price, let you speak on this, is your.
Yeah, I can speak up here. So that advance funds, it's not actually in the bank account yet, but once we receive the disbursement, it will be. And it's for the feasibility, the majority of it's for the feasibility study for 8 Main and the historic tax credit application for 46 West Main.
And those have been paid or they're waiting the
They're waiting,
disbursement?
yeah.
Do I need
Yes, I have stuff for people to sign today.
okay. Any other questions on the 0024? Next one would be the 0482.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, go for it, Jake.
Okay, so this is the capital funds, this is what we have to get to 75% spent before they'll award the next grant that Jason applied for. This one is not on here, but since I prepared it with Jason and Dar, we've received 2 invoices, one for the demo of 63 Seneca Street and one for the deposit for the 4 to 6 stabilization in Friendship. So I have something for you to sign for that as well.
That's just over 70,000, right?
Yeah, it's, well, it's actually a little bit more than that.
That's the 5%.
Because we've added now 5% program delivery every time we submit a reimbursement or disbursement request to HCR, we'll get 5% of that back. And then on here, the HCR advance funds of 384420 is, that is the program delivery that we received with our last disbursement. It is in the bank. I'm just waiting on HCR for the technicality of what to tell Glenn for accounting. I don't know if it gets transferred to general fund and then we use it to pay for adding Brad to the team, or, so that's why it's just sitting there for now, but technically that is spent on Jason's last invoice.
Can you describe the holding account you and Glenn have created for the board so they can better understand what we're doing with money now, because it's a little different than how we've logged it?
Yeah, so Glenn and I came up with a system to ensure that we don't miss any invoices when I prepare the disbursement requests. So we now have classes already in QuickBooks. The classes are usually, Clinton Brown is entering there. So yeah, we have a general fund class and a class for every grant, and that's how we track everything in QuickBooks to tie it back to the treasurer's report. What we've created is a holding account So we've had a few situations where we submit something to the state and they say, oh, that's not allowed on this grant, move it to that grant, and it really created confusion with the accounting. Glenn has to go back and change it. So now we leave all expenses in a holding account, which helps in two ways. One, before I submit a disbursement request, I get the holding account from Glenn, and then I'm able to see every invoice that we've paid, so I know what's going on the disbursement request and we don't miss any expenses. And then once he gets the revenue in the bank account, then that's when he goes and codes it to the correct grant class, so that there's none of this back and forth if we have to make changes. So Glenn's been really happy with that system, and so have I.
Good.
And we have about, just over 600,000, under 600,000, under contract for this grant too, so and Kate's gonna be, after we get through this year's Paris, Kate's gonna go back through and we're gonna have a new updated treasurer's report format coming up in 2026 that hopefully will capture that stuff, what's under contract, so when you look at this, we can see what contracts are under each grant in anticipation of spending out those grants.
All right, next one is at the 0379.
This is the administrative money that pays for accounting and for sector. We have money in the bank account that we're drawing down on currently that takes us through March. And then we'll put in our next disbursement request in March, but we have so 20,000 in advance funds and then another 65,000 left to request for that.
And that's gotta last us till when?
Till August.
Mid-August.
Yeah.
And that's sufficient?
Yeah, if we started, all the line banks started at different times and then they kind of synced us back up. They kind of kicked us out a month extra, so we think that if we do get close, that they'll let us start a month early, because they made us start a month late, but yeah, we should.
Okay. And last, our money, general fund.
Yeah, so this is, let me think here. Okay, so across the top, the available funds, 138,167. So that is an approximate number, but very close to what we have in our, what were we calling it, Darwin? Reserve?
Reserves.
In our reserves. We're gonna start calling it our reserves. It does not include the amount below, which is 35,265. That is what we are required to spend as our match for the grants. So that's
We're
what we
splitting up
have left.
we're splitting up, for the 0024 grant, our skin in the game was 50,000, and then for the capital grant, 2.2, our skin in the game was 50,000. So we have 100,000 in active funds, and then we have the reserves also. That's what she said, sorry.
And that makes up the general fund balance, which is the bank account amount, and I need to, if I can get it printed before you leave, get the transfer fund for the general fund to go from, because right now we have like 260,000 in LBI, a lot of that's owed back to the general fund account, so Darwin has been on top of us making sure that that transfer happens, so
I'd like
that.
to see that money there.
All right. Motion to approve the treasurer's report is submitted by Dar.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Dave?
any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Harris updates, don't want you to miss that there. Item B.
Before-
I'm gonna-
I'm sorry. On the financial end, I'm proposing that we do an amended policy, and that is that we don't issue any monetary checks until we physically hold a receipt or an invoice for those amounts.
So Dara, you and I talked about this. I went back in, since the committees are gonna be reviewing the internal controls narratives, I've added some language after our conversation. Tell me if you think this is. Invoices cannot be paid unless first signed by the treasurer. The check signer reviews all supporting documentation prior to signing the checks. No checks, this is where it comes in, no checks will be signed without a corresponding invoice. After signature, the checks are remitted back to the accounting consultant for mailing. All mailed checks must have a copy of the corresponding invoice included. So then it has to have an invoice for you to sign it and an invoice to mail it, to double check, which is like a double check to make sure that there's always an invoice when it's signed and when it goes out, and it never gets missed.
It's a little more than I think is necessary, but yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be, instead of creating policy, I just added it to the internal control systems in place as part of our Paris audit, which also is part of our policies too, but I updated it in this year's annual report, and then it'll sync into all the other policies. If you're all right with
So that's my motion.
We're gonna take care of that in committees.
Yeah, how do you want?
What's that?
We can take care of that in committees?
Yeah, that can go through committee.
Okay.
Do we approve it now, or do we approve it at next month's meeting?
Well, if it gets added to the control systems, and then when the committee approves that, and then the board will approve that committee change, it'll kind of be approved as part of the process. But his motion could be to have the relative committee, I think it's the governance committee, and I think this actually is covered by audit and governance committee off the top of my head. So the appropriate committee to adjust the control system narrative to include invoicing with, how do we say it? However it's
Payment with invoices.
So Dar made the motion.
Yeah.
Second.
Submit the suggested policy change to the committee, appropriate committee, for their approval and refer back to the board.
Okay.
Second?
Bob will.
Bob, any other discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And the second thing is that we try to, how do I say this? To better facilitate cash flows, I'm suggesting that rather than when we award a contract, the contractor tells us when he's gonna start, that we, whenever we can physically, according to our other obligations of upfront payments or whatever, that we try to tell them when to start based on when we anticipate the revenue coming in from the grants, rather than us footing the bill in the interim of carrying that load. So like in the case of, I don't remember which one it was, but we had one where we awarded the contract and they started to work and we had to pay them the upfront money, which was okay in that particular case. But when the revenue came in, it was like a month after the start date, so that we had to carry that load for that month. Where if unless there's some reason to, we start early or earlier like we are now. I'm proposing that we tell them when to start based on our best guess as to when we're gonna get the drawdown.
Wouldn't that have to be in the RFP?
No, with the RFP, we have 45 days to award them.
Yeah.
And we have been going that way. It's not like in policy or anything, but that's, like for instance, 63 Seneca, it's only $9,500 thing, we're waiting for approval. But even, we could easily floated that, but we told them just to wait till we get the money.
Could that be included, there be verbiage included in the award? When it's awarded to begin such and such a date and that.
That would be the time.
Negotiated start date to be negotiated.
Yeah, so I think if you were gonna make a motion, the motion would be to make sure all award letters to contractors include a start date based on revenue, on the income of revenue, not on their availability time.
Where would that, we'll entertain that motion, then we'll discuss it.
Yeah, I'll make that
You
motion.
make that
I
motion.
don't have a motion down. You guys were just going all over the place. I have no idea what you ended up.
Stenographer, can you read that back now?
Well,
Okay, so
The motion basically is to better synchronize the payment or the start date of our contractors to when we're gonna receive the revenue
But it's gonna be done through the award letter.
through the award letter.
all contract award letters should be,
I would ideally like this to come back through committee and then we have an official, something written down at our next board meeting. 'Cause
That was what I was gonna bring up in this discussion, so
I just,
we have a motion, we don't have a second. My question is gonna be what committee is that gonna go through?
governance,
So why don't we just
I think.
address that in the committee and
So my
then
motion is to refer it to the governance committee for
review?
review and approval.
That I would second.
Any other discussion on that?
What do we gain by doing that?
You gain the fact that we aren't carrying the burden out of our general fund rather than waiting for
Well,
the
my
grant.
point is like Seneca Street, they've been waiting 2 years to get that house torn down.
Yeah,
And now we gotta wait for pay down by the state. I mean, are we ever not gonna get that money?
No, we'll get the money, that's why.
I just see, want to keep things rolling but holding it up is, of course, it could only be 45 days, but still.
How is our disbursement done? Is it, what time frame are we looking at when we award the contract?
It's case by case, so
It
if we,
is, but it's been pretty consistently 30 days, the last.
but we also got, we've gotten, the last few projects we've had have been held up by wetlands permits, the long-eared bat thing, there's environmentals have slowed us down anyway, but if there's a project like, it's ready to roll, then that's what Dar's saying, because I do have the tendency to, if the environmentals are ready, and we hire them on, to fund the first 25% out of our funds, and then the state comes back and says, you don't like your paperwork, whatever, it could be six weeks before we get our money back, so Dar was.
But on a clean one, it's within 30 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So when we award an RFP, we say, all right, you can start 30 days, whatever that 30 days is, and we can pretty sure we're gonna have those funds.
I think what Darwin's trying to do is make sure that this is, that we can, if we pay someone if we cash flow a proper, project to start, it's the exception, not the rule. He's trying to make sure that the exception is we do it if we need to,
right,
but our standard
Okay.
operating
Right.
should be,
All right.
wait for the.
I get it one.
right. All I'm saying or proposing is that we mentally think about the revenue flow more so than we have in the past.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second.
It doesn't mean that we aren't gonna start a project
Right,
necessarily.
okay, I just
Yeah, it's this exception, it'll be the exception. 'cause-
had a little fog.
Okay. Any other discussion?
well, normally, I'm just gonna throw back. When we approve the agenda, this is the type of stuff we're supposed to block out at that point and say, I have 2 things to add in the treasurer's report, and I want to do resolution.
When it's signed up for the discount. Oh.
Is this new with us, so wait.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking.
So we have to be conscientious in the future, maybe getting, communicating with Jason, so when he does the agenda.
You're telling me that we can't interject something new on the agenda when it's not on the agenda? Is that what you're saying?
I would say if you knew you were gonna bring these 2 things up, that would have been a good time to,
At the beginning of the meeting, before we approve the agenda, say I have 2 items I'd like to add.
Okay. I won't add anything more.
Today.
I'm not holding you to it, I'm just encouraging if we're gonna use that process, then
Yeah.
that's, ideally.
I don't understand the reasoning behind that, but
Well, I can tell you for
greater
taking
minds than
notes,
mine, huh?
I can tell you for taking notes, it's a lot better if these guys have already written up what all those resolutions
That I
are.
understand.
So that's all I'm really trying to get at.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Brian, can I ask if we can jump to new business item A, in case Mr. Rosenbaum has to leave sometime through the meeting?
Okay, that's it. I don't know if everybody.
Main Street.
Yeah, I got it. I just didn't know if everybody had gotten it at that time. Guess it was in the packet. Should have this way.
Yeah.
You have the floor if you want to speak.
Sure. First of all, I very much appreciate this opportunity. Just under a year ago, Pete Degnan and I developed a friendship where he realized he might be moving on to bigger and better things. And he knew I had a long background in municipal law, first as a town board member of my own town, and then as a deputy supervisor in charge of public works, public safety, all that stuff. And so that was back in the early 2000s. So I've been doing that. My practice was bought by a very large statewide firm that has now 6 branches around the state, Brooklyn, Long Island, White Plains, Albany, Rochester, and now Belfast, which I opened up a couple weeks ago. The primary reason for opening up Belfast is I now represent about a dozen towns and villages and 4 fire districts, and I thought it would be good to have a footprint down here. I had the pleasure of meeting Jason through Peter, and he said there would be a need for local counsel for the land bank. My firm has over 250 people working in it, a very strong real estate department statewide. The benefit I'm offering you folks is I'm offering you half my normal rate, and everybody around the state, my firm knows that that's the rate they have to be married to if they're ever gonna touch anything for closings or whatever. I'm excited about this opportunity. I happen to know John Sid, who's the president of the Land Bank Association in New York. He's out of Syracuse and Hancock and Estabrook. We've already spoken several times, and I'm hopeful you'll want to engage me to assist you.
Anybody have any questions for Matthew?
I do. On page 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs. It speaks about separation of our groups from the legal firm. And it says if we choose to separate, that we pay for the file copies. But when you choose to separate, there's no comment about who pays for the copy of the files.
Excellent point. This is a standard retainer agreement that they use all over the state. I'd be happy to revisit that little issue, but frankly, unless there's some huge issue that comes between us, which I sincerely doubt will happen, I won't be charging you for any copies of things.
I understand.
Plus, you should know,
But
you'll
there's-
probably have about 99% of everything already. I mean, there's very little you wouldn't.
I understand, but I don't understand why you would put that clause in if we cancel, but you guys don't get it in if you cancel.
I could take it up with management if you wanted to delay the retainer agreement. I could do that.
I'm just making a point.
Darwin, I look forward to a long and healthy relationship.
Okay, that's all.
I appreciate it, and I will look into it though. And if an amendment has to be made, an amendment will be made.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions? Well, then I'd entertain a motion to, what's the proper term? Retain, thank you.
You're welcome.
The legal services of, are we doing that directly with you or through the firm?
Well, the firm is, I'm not a solo practitioner, so technically it's through the firm, but I am handling all your work, other than anything that might need to be used for our closing team.
So, and that firm is,
Abrams, Fenster.
It's in the motion.
okay, oh, there it is, sorry. My apologies. So do we have a motion?
Don't jump on it once.
I'll make the motion.
Dar, great. Second,
Dave,
Dave. Any other discussion, questions? All in favor?
Wait,
Oh,
just okay, for Jason in the motion, it's ESQ, not ESB.
I did that? Oh, well, he is clairvoyant.
Just for purposes of correcting it.
This is my most marked up agenda ever. And he said that you can scratch off my name and write your name, Chairman, on the signature block and sign the one that's in the packet.
Oh, okay.
And if they decide they want to have a new one, clean one, done, we'll get it together. This will get the ball moving.
All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
you had it right above us. So what's your effective start date?
Moment, he says the motion is approved.
Motion approved.
But I already told Jason, I'm not charging to be here today. But I do want to give you all my cell phone number. I'll leave a bunch of business cards for you. We haven't gotten our phone installed yet, so I've been using my cell at Belfast address, which is 37 Main Street, literally across from Aces. And my cell phone is area code 585-738-8620. And I am open 24/7. So if there's a question, and I just want to point this out, Dar brought up a couple good points, and Kira was correct based on what we initially said at the beginning of the meeting. If you have a motion or you have a question about something, utilize me, call me up, and I'll be happy to go through it with you, and that way it'll be nice and crisp for when we get to the board meeting. Anything like that. Peter and I are very good friends. I know Peter had a different approach, but my job is to be as helpful as possible, and if there's any questions, I'm always available.
Just for outside of your what other type of legal services are you going to be providing out of the Belfast office?
We're a general practice firm. We do everything from ADR and alternative dispute resolution, which is mediations, arbitrations. We do litigation, obviously municipal work, election law, real estate, corporate work, commercial litigation. We're pretty much the package.
Nonprofit formation?
Nonprofit formation, absolutely. In fact, I'm doing that for an older fire district that just wants to update their 1949 C of I, so, yeah.
I think a big thing that we're gonna need is assistance tackling the process that we talked about before, the tax sale process and and navigating that.
And I've spoken to John Sid again, because we want to make sure we have a unified approach to this, so it's not a confederacy. And John is working on a statement or policy that will be sent across for everybody to review and then comment on. So I'll get you that information as it comes. But yeah, Jason, absolutely. I know that that's a big issue with excess money, so we'll tackle that.
Great.
Thank you.
One of the things that may impact, and I don't know if it does or not, our county is not a charter county, and some of that. So some of the big counties
Right.
are charter counties. They have a whole different rule book than the rest of us.
You talking like Article 11, like opt-out counties
Just
for the tax?
Well, I'm not saying specifically that, but in general terms, things that a charter county can do, we can't do sometimes, and vice versa. So when
Thank you.
you're
I'm gonna talk
talking
to
to
John.
them, make sure that they're not just thinking about the
Onondaga County, we're
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
Allegheny. Good point. Thank you.
And I sent before the last tax sale, a couple different opinions from John Sid to our treasurer's office and the county attorney and county administrator. So they have some preliminary idea of what John's been working with other land banks to try to come up with an MOU that works.
And I made him aware that you're on the committee, one of the committees for the statewide organization. Thank you. I'm gonna stick around as long as I can, but I do have a plan coming in, but I'd like to just see the flow.
Okay.
You said you represent the municipal fire commissions
I represent 4 fire districts,
in Allegheny County?
3 in Allegheny, 1 in Cattaraugus.
Because I'm on the board of fire commissioners in Bolivar, and we have a terrible time with lawyers, just terrible.
In the sense that they're horrible, or you don't have them?
We have one sort of,
Okay.
but getting
Are they a
work done,
fire district?
getting work done is.
You have my cell number, feel free to call me.
Okay,
Is Bolivar a fire district?
yeah,
Or is it?
yeah, we're a board of fire commissions for the district.
Thank you.
All right, then we're gonna back up now to funding. Jason.
Okay, Land Bank Initiative and New York State, budget update. The state budget is being worked on right now, the joint committee for budget, the joint budget committee, which is both sides of the aisle, are meeting in the, all the land banks have sent letters asking for more money in the state budget for land banks. There was a provision in the budget to increase the number of land banks, but they did not increase the funding. So we have there's, I believe it's this week, the Rural Housing Coalition will be testifying to Congress about the budget and the request, and they are urging for more money for land banks in that as well. We sent out a couple letters, we got good support. There's good support. Land banks is a bipartisan issue. Both sides out like the land banks, so we're hoping for something big there. We're asking for the same thing we had last time, which I believe was 40 million. Off the top of my head, it was 40 million. So I'll keep you updated on that. The cross mod application is just about ready to turn in to submit. We'll talk about that later in the agenda.
Did you skip the Paris audit updates?
That's why I'm confused.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
I thought we did that.
Well, here's the quick on that. We'll be doing committee meetings after this meeting. We'll be doing a couple quick committee meetings, and we are tracking on the audit. Glenn and Kate are getting the last year's financials around for the independent auditor. Ed Isaac will be speaking at this meeting, at the March meeting.
March meeting?
Yep.
You'll have to provide me those, whatever you just said about HCR, because I was sitting here saying, how does this fit in Paris?
Sorry.
Okay.
He mentioned Paris and then he jumped to the new business and I forgot to go back to it, so.
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time tracking, because stuff is going on my phone too.
All right, so so we're done with that, the funding, right, correct? Infrastructure's next. Where's your director's report fit in here these days?
Somewhere at the end.
It's before the
Old business.
Fragrance retainer money.
Okay, so,
Oh, I guess it doesn't. It's just,
It's this thing.
yeah.
Yeah, so we're going from the
right,
January.
where is it on the agenda?
It says January, but it's not January.
Right, first thing under
Infrastructure and
Oh,
board
okay.
director project.
He also has an executive director's report for the,
That's embedded in the thing.
maybe we should move that to there. Who knows?
So it says January 2026, but it's February. Thayer Street in Houghton, we're trying to work with Houghton Academy to make the Houghton Academy a historical district, which would then encompass the disco barn at 9761 Thayer Street. That's with the school now to get surveys and documentation, so we're squeaking forward on that.
Jason, who would be responsible to pay for the formation of the district, us or the?
Right now, the town, they're in an information gathering state, but they're probably gonna need some assistance. For the Thayer Street, we put in our next grant, $100,000 to support their activities. So it might end up coming out of that guy's skin in the game, because ultimately, if he benefits from the district, he's gonna get money back historical tax credits, so he's tracking on that he might lose a little bit of his rehab money towards that if need be, but first we gotta establish how much is this thing gonna cost, and do they even have the documentation that'll suffice the district.
Okay.
Main Street Student Trust, we also asked for money in the upcoming grant to rental assistance for that. I have no updates on that, still a ways out. I have no updates on the church in Cuba. No updates on Almond Street, or Main Street in Almond. 15-second, we have the 25% to start is in.
You did I want to back up to Almond, because it did say a resident inquired about it.
Oh, okay, sorry, I forgot, I don't know if I talked about that last month, I feel like I said it last month. Yes,
Maybe you did.
community member reached out and wants to do a community garden on the site if we're not gonna build. The mayor called me about it and asked if they can get funding for such a garden, if we would donate the property. I said, let's cross that bridge when we get there, type of thing, let's see, we'd rather put a house there. But they just don't wanna see nothing go there, so I just want them to come up with a plan and we'll see what it looks like. But 15 Street, the money's in to pay the contractor. We're just waiting on their schedule of values and work plan and building permit. They've changed code officers there, so there's a little lag there, but we should get them going this week. Grover Street, the drawings are done, as well as the manual J, which is the mechanicals for the HVAC. The next step is we're going to create an RFP for just the mechanicals. We don't have money to do the whole rehab until we get that next grant, but we have enough in the phase 2 funding to do the mechanicals, depending on the quotes we get. So next step is just to get quotes for the mechanicals for 31 Grover.
When do you anticipate RFPs going out for that?
In enough time that we can review them March 16th, so they'll be going out ASAP.
Okay.
We're pretty close, the drawings are done, I just gotta get into it. But yeah, so they need to be out on the contractor connect, if that's what it's called, contract reporter, whatever.
Contractor.
Reporter, the contract reporter, they have to be out there for like 25 days or something like that, so.
But we're already
You're not gonna
behind
make it.
now, because we're
being
late this month.
So we might have to do it in April, but, yeah, so that's where we stand with that. What would that put today? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right, it's
We already
February.
talked about we were gonna do it in April, Jason just.
Yeah, exactly,
Okay.
okay, I haven't heard back from the mayor of Wellsville about 172, 178. They have an interest, like I said before, they have an interest in it because they have a sewer line that runs through there. It's landlocked, otherwise. 4 to 6 Main Street in Friendship.
You skipped 2.
I did? 2 Main Street in Friendship, that's under contract. The contract's been signed, we're working towards closing on that. We have the keys and and there's a motion later on, we'll be discussing this again, but I want to put the utilities in our name so we can have, because this will save us on getting a temporary electric service to 4 to 6, because we can just run electric off the building next door that we now own, we're under contract.
I have a question on 2 Main.
Yep.
I guess it was the waitress that said something about they had somebody coming in to take over the diner in March. Do you know anything about that?
They bought.
Did they? I know Ashley.
I think, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
My question was, the things that were started by Degnan, I assume this is in his bin, are they being finished by his office?
Yeah.
And then anything new comes
Yeah,
through?
Correct, yeah. His
I
first thing
signed
will
all
be
the purchase.
his first thing will be the Hope project if that goes through. So anything that's out there is pretty much almost done. It's just that surveys are all done, the title works, in the works are done.
Okay.
There's one just, but yeah, those, we should be closing on everything.
Is he keeping the office open and is paralegal?
I believe so, I don't know.
His office, by election law, given his position and the fact that he's not elected yet, he can hold his office, or his business office open until the end of June.
Yeah, she did tell me that, yeah. She coming to work for you, or? Can't answer the question.
So yeah, as we close on this, we want to put the utilities in our name. We've already been checking on them during that cold spell. Brad ran over and turned up the heat a little so we didn't have a tragedy because they've been out of the building. And when they moved, when they closed down shop at the beginning of February, we told them, don't turn off the heat, we'll take care of it, you know, to kind of protect our investment here. So they've taken all the perishables out. Brad and I just walked through it on the other day, and it was, the perishables are gone, fridges are propped open, so they're not gonna be moldy and nasty, so Brad's been taking care of that and trying to make sure that we're.
Have we started the utility process of?
No, I have a motion later on, I think I just wanted to put it on your radar for now. Moving to 4 to 6 Main Street, we're requesting the 25% to start. We have, we decided to, well, we haven't totally decided, but I think we're gonna change the block walls. Originally, the design was for block walls to replace that foundation, the front wall foundation. We're gonna alter that to be poured concrete. We also have to, it's not gonna be till April though, because in April, they'll be coming through with an environmental unit to do ground boring, to bore ground samples from 4 to 6 in 8's basement because of the history of tin manufacturing in the building, and to do ground penetrating radar to see if there's tanks underneath.
Gas pumps.
Gas pumps underneath, that's the ground penetrating radar, is to see if there's gas tanks under there, and then they'll be doing soil samples as well.
In IDA's.
And IDA
Paying for
is
that.
paying for that, correct. And they're also gonna pay for the asbestos tested 8 main, which we haven't done yet.
That's what showed up in the phase one, was that there was a gas station set up out front.
And there's 2 buried tanks from the 20s,
Before there was cars.
now the 20s.
Model Ts.
Yeah, so in the 1920s, the tanks were on the sandboard maps from the 20s. Ground penetrating radar will show that they're not, or they are there, but I don't think they are. And then, yeah, there was a tin factory, so they think there might be contamination. So that's all from the phase one. We came up on those. So it's slowly moving forward, but I'm gonna talk to HCR and see if there's any of the items that we can do to start, keep moving, that might be not affected by this process.
How are we coming with I mean, we didn't realize till a month or so ago that we don't own that property yet. There was.
It's with 2, it's gonna hopefully close with 2. So 2, 4 and 6, 8 we already have. And the 4 to 6 Depot Street, they're all with the same 2 attorneys. They're representing, like our attorney, but then the other attorneys is representing, what is it, it's Ferkels out of Olean is representing the person for 4 to 6 Depot, and now has taken over 4 to 6 Main, so. Those should, hopefully we have closing packets for those all this week. The attorney for the seller said that they will be getting Angela from Degman's office all the paperwork as of Friday. So I'll check today after the meeting, see how we're at. So we weren't gonna do anything anyways because we don't have it closed, but the antique barn, 8 Main Street, just everything I said for 4 to 6 Main Street applies for 8 Main Street as well. We're turning that into one project building. Antique barn Friendship, we applied for a $2,500 grant from Allegheny Area Foundation that would go towards fixing up the sliding doors, fixing up some hardware, securing it with better locks, patching up some holes to keep cats out and stuff like that. So just, it was out of our budget. I didn't want to, this will allow us to do a little bit of work on there without going through the whole HCR environmental process for $2,500, so.
Did they apply or not? I mean, did they?
They don't meet, they meet this week, so.
25th in total, 2 days from now.
So that'll be good if we get that. And there's the other. 10, got it. Okay, so 10 Friendship, what we talked about again, I here printed off the county report for that. We noticed that this is the project, or the property that I put in $100,000 to buy it and stabilize it in our next grant. $50,000 was gonna be our offer to buy it, and $50,000 to stabilize it. since then, I've noticed that it's 3 years delinquent in taxes, and if we're gonna try to apply, our goal was to ask to buy this, make an offer late summer. It looks like that might not be available late summer. I was looking on, I don't know if this is true or if it was just a space holder, but on Auctions International, their website said that they have a space holder for the Allegheny County tax sale auction July 7th on Auctions International. I haven't confirmed that with the county yet. But if that's true, that there's a tax sale August, or July 7th, then this might end up going to auction, and becoming more of a problem for us to buy than if we just try to get it now and short sale it with the current owner. Yeah, it's about 16,000 back in taxes. That's just a rough number that we got from this. We'd have to confirm that with the county too, but we can talk that, there's more on the agenda about that later if you want to talk about it.
I won't bring up the
The burnout, there's the burnout for 46 Depot in Friendship. That has, we got the variance for that, which is huge. So we applied for a variance to get the walls, the concrete block walls, subtracted from the weight of the asbestos material which is inside. So now we can clean out the asbestos material inside, not have to treat the walls as friable asbestos. We clean out the inside, and then we'll have to go back in there once it's cleaned out and test the soil, because this was also a tin shop at one point in history. So we have to do a phase 2 on this, but not till we get to that, to get rid of that asbestos, which is going to be complicated because we need to get this phase 2 testing done in the basement to get environmental approval. We need environmental approval to clear off the space to get to the thing. So I got to talk to ACR to see how they want us to maneuver that.
Which entity approved the variance on the walls?
The Department of Labor.
Is that also IDA brownfield, are they
Yeah.
doing for the phase 1?
The phase 2, yeah, phase 1 and phase 2 will be, but not the remediation. So we'll have to. I think the best way to go about it is the house next door is 12 Depot Street, and that has transite siding, so we know that's going to be asbestos. And we have asbestos materials in 4 to 6 that needs to be cleaned up in 4 to 6 Main. So we're going to create one cleanup plan for all the projects. So as long as we have lime dumpsters there handling asbestos, have them clean 3 buildings out at the same time. And then we still might have to go back and clean out more after the thing, but we got to be able to get testing, so we can't do the testing until it's clean. So we might have to double abate these places, but there's no way around it at this point.
I'm gonna take my leave. Thank you, everybody. I really do
Thank you.
appreciate it. Looking forward to working with you, Touch.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you. Thank you, Doc.
And, yeah, so I just said 12 Depot Street, that's got transite siding. The asbestos survey happened Friday, so we're getting that back. I don't think anything in the incising is asbestos by looking. It might be a little bit of flooring, but it's probably just the siding. So moving on to 63 Seneca Street, that needs a Article 24, which is a wetlands permit through the DEC. So we're waiting for 63 Seneca and the next property, 607, 682, both are in wetlands. So Brad's been working on wetlands permits for those properties, so they could be included in the cross-mod program, and so 63 can get demoed. Demo contractor is aware of the lag, and he's okay with it.
What was Brad's title again?
Community Development Specialist.
I remember that. Took me forever to remember your title, so.
You have a title?
Yeah, so Brad delivered he contacted the congressman for us, and we're trying to his place are out there in the community. There's a lot, especially when it comes to the historical districts and the Article 25, the DEC stuff, that kind of stuff. Yeah, other than that, 111 Main Street in Bolivar, kind of on the back burner for right now because we don't need to press on that, but so really no updates on 111 Main Street.
Okay, properties of interest, you have more on that? Is that where you're gonna address it?
Yeah, it's in new business.
Okay, so, housing study?
Kier, do you want to do this?
We have a meeting at 11 o'clock, so we better be done with this stuff by 11.
Oh, snap, okay, so I met with the contractors, community scale, and with Ptolemy on a call, so we did a Zoom call. Here, I don't know if you knew this, I sat down with Ptolemy and with community scale, they went through the building block software, and she showed her all the different ways she can use it. It was above my pay grade, and I just had a fly on the wall being like, this is gonna be awesome. Because there's a lot of data in there. They're gonna be able to use a lot of the work that we did with the surveys, a lot of the work that we've been doing with the vacant property reporting, the tattletale program, as they call it. So it's gonna roll, so that was a real good meeting. I think we're gonna have a real good report on this thing.
And we have sessions scheduled for around March 24th, 25th. Public interaction, they're coming here from Massachusetts to do that stakeholder interaction. So as soon as those get ironed out, which might be today, that news will be going out. Hopefully you can participate in some of that.
Okay. Next item, we have a couple addendums to Clinton Brown.
Did we get there already, or we?
I turned the page and that seemed like the next thing.
Where the hell we are?
After housing study, that was,
Item 7, brownfields.
Well, let me see. Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah, so I've already talked about this. We have both 4 to 6 Depot and 4 to 6 Main are in the brownfield program, and we just need phase 2s on those. It's ground boring and radar at 4 to 6, and just ground boring at Depot Street. We've already talked about all those. I'll fly through my executive report. We did the monthly report. Kate closed out phase 1. Our old phase 3 years of phase 1 operations money. We're in year 4, so she closed out the 3 years. Kind of had an internal audit for those, passed it swimmingly.
The money's gone, and that's closed. We will never see another
Yeah.
treasurer's report on that, all right.
We received the asbestos variance. We are ready to hand in that Move in New York grant, and we're underway with a couple different wetlands permits. Next month, we should be well underway to 15 Second Street. The demo of 63 Seneca, pending the wetlands permit, should be down. Should be a simple demo once we get to go. We're gonna release that RFP that we talked about for mechanicals at Grover to get a quote, and we will. I have very high confidence that we will close on every property that we have out there before the next meeting. You can put that in the minutes.
It's being recorded.
That's all I have for my report.
Old business,
So I sent an email, but I restated that we had offered Houghton University $2,000 an acre, up to 10 acres, pending approval of the project, the Across Mod Move in New York project. They counteroffered, requesting $3,000 per acre with all the same provisions. Again, that would be if we get the grant. And we're anticipating 5 to 6 at the most acres.
so we had submitted the grant, and they wanted to see X, Y, and Z.
Oh, the university?
No, the cross mod,
They wanted to see hard costs for the road construction
that was all they wanted to see. I thought there was more to it than that.
in a timeline.
And we completed all that.
Yeah, we had
To their satisfaction.
we had a contractor and work with John, and they just scoured through it and see, so the total, the estimate for building the road with using prevailing wage and it was like $4.3 million. So taking away prevailing wage and curbs and stuff that we didn't need, it's down to like 2.3. So we took it, cut it in half by not having prevailing wage and curbs.
And that would
That's
all
all
be covered part of this grant.
That's what we're trying to, they get this, that's what we're asking for. So that'd be the road construction plus 13 foundations and penetrations for utilities. That's every hard cost for the whole project, not just the road. That's foundations for all
Sewer,
properties,
water,
sewer,
electric,
water,
gas.
all that. So it's right up the door.
It was 2
3, I think. So that would take these houses
plus the houses?
plus the houses, so it ends up being about 450,000 per house, their cost.
I just wanna say, we had that little meeting and he presented an offer. And they came back to us and said, well, make whatever your, I wanna do this once, whatever your offer is. And we basically said, that's what we were authorized to offer, and that's because they were meeting later, and then they come back with, that's not enough, so I was a little,
It was odd that they said it's not about the money's not the thing, we wanna get our people in there. So I can't guarantee you will, but you have a very good shot of it because you're already in the know, first come, first serve. They said, well, it's not about the money, it's not about the money, and then they came back.
and they came back with much more money.
Well, with the amount of money we're talking for the infrastructure,
It's necklace.
So they're talking about $6,000 more in total?
yeah. Yeah.
But then on the flip side, it's $6,000 less that they didn't really have anything for anyways, and they're getting an awful benefit out of this when you get all done.
Not saying I'm not annoyed with them. I thought they were giving us the property.
Oh, didn't I originally?
Yeah.
And they would have, if we could have guaranteed that they would get teachers, the houses would be definitely for them, that they get to put their people in there, and no one else got to compete with them, they would have given it to us for free. They didn't want to compete, is the way I took it.
That's a fair housing violation.
Yeah.
All right,
Well, thanks.
so let's have a motion in a second and hash this out if we need to. Anybody?
So if there's $450,000 per house, that's all the cost. How much of that will we get back?
We get 6%, or 5 or 6? 6%.
6%.
6% developer fee.
Is that on the whole thing or just on the houses?
On,
We're not of that 2 point whatever.
yeah,
we're up at
I can't remember if it's the whole chunk, I think it might be the whole shebang, but it's, I'm not clear on that, but the language seems like it's the whole cost. So it'd be 6% of 4 million, but if it's just the houses, it ends up being about 120,000 for us out of the whole deal, but it'd be way more than that if it's.
So the property purchase.
Property purchase is a loan, so the property purchase has nothing to do with this, so they loan, the state loans the money to have these things built. We facilitate that at 6% of the fee, is a fee, and then when they sell the house, so say they sell the house for 200, the house for 200, each one is, they eat the other. The rest of it is so they'll forgive what they can't pay, so if you bought one of the houses, it costs 450,000, here's your loan for 450,000, you pay the 200,000, the rest of it is forgiven.
But Larry, let me rephrase my question
Okay.
then. Does this property purchase, come out of our pocket and stay out of our pocket, or does that come out of the grant? Is that a refunded?
No, it doesn't have, we don't, the funding goes outside of us except for our 6%, I believe, yeah, I think that's how it is, yeah.
I
So
think
they'll
he's
pay-
asking that the money to buy the land, is that gonna be refunded part of the program if we
Oh,
award the
okay,
grant?
no, I don't think it will, right, because we're about,
So
no,
basically, the purchase comes out of our general fund, correct?
Correct.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
That's what I'm trying to
Okay,
get
sorry,
at. And it's not something that we're ever gonna see.
you were saying property purchase, I thought you were talking home purchase, I get you now.
So we're looking at somewhere in between 15 and 20,000, depending on the acreage we decide.
Which we get back out of our developer fee, but that's,
Actually, we shouldn't discuss this anymore until we have a motion in a second.
that's true.
I try to get that.
I know. Nobody moved on it. You understand, right? All right, for the purposes of further discussion, I would make that motion.
Okay. Ed, second?
For the same reasons.
Okay. We have motion and a second. Any discussion on the purchase of Houghton property?
And the whole thing is contingent on us getting the grant,
Correct.
so we don't have to spend anything
Correct.
officially.
Yeah, the whole thing just goes off, just
So,
thrown away if we don't get the grant.
yeah, because I don't want 10 acres or 6 acres in the boonies.
No, we're not.
If we're not moving forward.
Well, as long as everybody's okay with 18 grand coming out of our pocket for the project.
How much do we get?
We'll get 6% back, so what are we looking to get back?
You're talking about 4 or 5 years.
I know.
Get that back.
170,
In the reserves, it's like 138.
we have 138 in our general fund right now.
Yeah, if, it'll be over, if it's the 4.3, then about, 220,000. If it's the 4.3, if not, it'll be half that.
And that's unrestricted our money.
Of the purchase offers we have out, we haven't sent the check for any of those,
What purchase offers?
for the buildings in Friendship.
No, because they have to be all cleared up, the tax, because the tax has gotta be cleared up.
Right, so it's not 138.
So that money has to come out of the general fund too.
So what's the total we've got possibly going out there?
Gosh, it'll take me a little bit to get that together. I don't know, I have to.
Do we have to pass this today?
No, not necessarily.
Do we pass it next month?
Yeah, I totally can.
I make
Is
a
that-
motion to table this. And find out the answers to how much we're spending.
Second on that motion.
Second.
So the whole thing might be answered. We may have an answer on the grant at that point.
Yeah, it could all happen.
Yeah, so it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it makes
Do
sense.
anything. Do we need to notify Houghton that we're tabling until, just so?
I will let them, I don't think we need to, but I will.
Okay. So,
Just for 3 weeks. I mean, it's
yeah,
not,
No, it makes sense, it's not.
yeah, all in favor?
That is my question, exactly, because the reason I can't answer that question is because when we started buying these projects, we've hit 2 tax periods since then. We hit school taxes and now we hit county taxes, so I can't even, but I will ask that today when I ask for updates.
So-
I'm gonna let me finish this. I asked for all in favor and I didn't.
And I have a comment check, but.
Okay.
So, just to recap,
Mhm.
the cost to buy the properties in Friendship, plus this is what we're talking about in the total on, because that's all coming out of our money?
Mhm.
Okay. So the motion is tabled. This, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Now I can turn the page to Clint Brown.
So we have 2 different addendums. We can start with Grover, that's the. Of course I put in the wrong order, I think. Yeah, I put in the wrong order, sorry. So this was to assist in the bidding and negotiating of the RFPs going out for the historical renovations. This is, we don't, I guess the long and short of it, we don't have pre-development money left to cover this at this time. What was I gonna say about
so
it?
this is the second motion you're talking about? Or the first?
The first one there, contract number 25007. So this, the reason I had asked Clinton to come on board and help with these things because of the nature of the rehab is the historical rehab. Until we get our next grant, we're not gonna be going into the actual intricacies of historical rehabs, you know, windows and interior carpentry and design and stuff like that. We need to focus on the MEPS. our team can handle that internally until we find more, pre-development money. And for the other one, as long as we've got them in our hands, this one's a little more tricky because we have to talk to the contractor about changing those block walls. We're gonna, if we need to change the walls to concrete, we want to change the walls from block to concrete, which would take a little more, I think material-wise, it's not gonna cost any more, but there might be some engineering costs involved, so we're gonna talk to the contractor, see if he can absorb those to best of his.
Why are we changing that?
Because it's more structurally sound. It's a bigger building. The old stone wall that is there, tying in blocks into the actual stone isn't going to be as structurally sound as tying in concrete to the stone. Concrete's going to be able to really structurize those corners and the face of that building and allow for any penetrations and sealing as well.
You could do it am I right to say that you could also put the concrete in a smaller space than you would need to put in the block, so it takes down some effort too, right, John? Is that right?
Yes and no. Blocks, you're going to have to work on both sides. Concrete wall, you're going to have to work on both sides. But depending on how they design it, the back wall of the concrete wall could be left as is, but that's not usually how it works. But not necessarily. But it is easier construction as far as construction. It's more structurally sound construction than a block wall, especially for the positive forces that are pushing from both buildings and the sidewalks on the outside of that building. The concrete itself will be stronger. It'll be tied into corners that are stronger, and it'll tie into the stone that we're going to disturb, and it'll be able to integrate with the stone a lot better than a block will.
Okay,
What we will not be getting if we don't approve the increase is the site visits. So they anticipated site visits to come down and make sure that, and oversee the project from an engineer standpoint. I
So
think.
you're saying we don't have the dough
We don't have,
to do these two items
unless it comes out of
this month?
unless it comes out of general funds. We don't have any administrative fund, or, pre-development funds left in our capital grant to cover that, right?
Correct.
Clinton is on it. Clinton, if you wanted to chime in, this is your.
yeah, I don't understand, are they both for the RFP process? Or are they?
Yeah, and for over RFP process and, site and overseeing the.
Because the friendship really doesn't say what we're getting for $20,000. Is that part of the first?
No, they're
It
separate.
might have gotten lost in there. It's for construction administration services.
Sorry, but I got
Starts on the back of the other page, right?
Oh, yeah, it's on the very last, oh, you signed it and turned it in.
Okay, now that's why I'm confused, all right. All right,
You signed it? No, we're not even.
I signed it and gave it to the attorney, because the attorney's contract is on.
That's exactly
Okay,
right.
with it.
Just seems like every meeting we have invoices from Clinton Brown. You know,
Yeah, doing a lot of.
all
work.
change orders.
Clinton, can you hear us? Did you want to talk about these at all, or are you off doing other things?
Great,
Hello?
apparently he's not there, so,
So, it seems pretty simple. We're just tabling each one of these
yeah.
Well,
for a month or more. Is that what
We're
we're
not
saying?
gonna have money until
to table,
August, right?
you're only good to the next meeting.
Once we have to spend all that capital money.
Table has to be addressed at the following meeting.
Jason, are you anticipating us requesting or advising us to just not approve these or to table them? Table, and we have to make a decision next month. The funds aren't there, we're not gonna have the funds till summer.
Right, a lot does happen. I think that if tabling them will be easier in case we do we do move around some money, and we do need some of the services, but then they'd have to be amended anyway, as far as the way that
Let's
they're
just vote them
drafted now.
down and bring,
And then,
That would be
and
my
I can work with
recommendation.
Clinton if we needed to revisit.
it's nothing personal.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Vote them down
Oh, okay.
and then revisit it. You can
With clean resolution.
yeah. So the
Before
first
you
one,
were out of the room, we
he's not there.
Clinton, and he didn't respond, so evidently he's not sitting there.
So on the first one for Grover Street, I don't know.
We'll make the motion. Well, we're gonna vote on it,
No,
but we're
okay.
gonna vote not approved.
Here, second.
I'll second.
We've never done this. All in favor?
Who seconded?
Ed. Opposed?
Yep.
Aye.
Motion not approved. And the second one for 46 Main Street,
I'll make the motion.
Dar, second.
Bob?
All in favor?
Aye.
You sure?
You wanna be a not approved.
Well, I thought that's what we were voting on.
No, we have to,
Back that off.
so, all in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
Not approved. AC Reentry Coalition.
So Allegheny County is starting a group called the Reentry Coalition to help with temporary housing solutions in the county. They asked me to sit on that. I don't think it's even monthly, it might be monthly meetings. And I just wanted to get your guys' approval before I said yes or no to them.
Why do you need our approval? It's your business, not the land-based
It's
business.
the way, they want the land bank, they want,
You want, they're asking you to be
They want
there
the-
representing the land bank,
yes,
not fourth sector services.
correct.
And what is this again?
I was gonna say, what are these things, what are they doing?
Yeah, it's the Reentry Coalition, they're housing solutions, so they will, the goal, what I think that could turn out of this would be that social services, art solutions, the jail, those are the type of people who will be at the table, and then we help them find housing solutions so that they would, hopefully we get some properties that we would work with them to provide housing, sell them to them, so we'd just be the.
As long as you're comfortable doing this under your contract and it's not gonna come back as more money.
No, I think it's a good idea, I think it might lead to some good outcomes of getting rid of properties for us without having to go. It's a way to get rid of properties without having to just sell them on the market, put them back in the community it's worth hearing them out and seeing what they got going on.
Well, it certainly would be a partnership for this organization, so I'd entertain a motion for Jason to partner with Allegheny County Reentry Coalition
I'll make that one.
on behalf of Allegheny County Land Bank. Dave?
So, are you changing the way the motion's written?
No, I think it's good.
Well, he mentioned you on
No.
our behalf, that's not the way the
I put it
motion's
as
written.
administrative staff in case I ever have to send anybody in my stead.
Okay,
Dave made the motion, who seconded?
No one yet.
No one,
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Tax sale,
So I saw that on the website, so I haven't confirmed, but it looks like July 7th would be a tax sale with the last redemption date of April 15th. Kira, you hadn't heard anything downtown about this? So it might just be that Auctions International put a space holder there for them, and it's not actually happening, or maybe it is, I don't know, so I just put it on, I just wrote it in here so we could discuss it because it leads into the next item. I will confirm and send out an email.
Well, this is 10, and we don't know how much money we have in the general fund after we spend everything else, then this would come out of the general fund?
That's what I'm saying, I think we've got our plate full as far as I'm concerned. I don't have any objection to letting this, unless there's something really glaring that we need to get. let this one go.
Well, it has our water meter, not that we can't get around that, but it's already kind of part of this whole row of buildings, that's why it's interesting to us.
And I understand that,
2,
but
4,
it's-
6, 8.
You know, they already said they won't take less than 50,000, but they owe how much in back taxes?
It's about 16.
They owe 16.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, I wanna, maybe it's not even making him an offer, maybe it's getting with, Matt and making sure that this one is a high priority for us to get from the tax auction, if it does end up getting collected. So it doesn't have to be purchased offer, just wanted to get it out there that this is,
So by the time this tax auction were to come around, we would have new funding for acquisition, because we have none right now.
right, we have acquisition money for this property to trying to get to, but if we could,
What?
we have money to buy, remember the 50,000, we were gonna ask for that in that next grant, so if we
Right,
could get
in the
that
next grant.
in the next grant, depending on what the price is, right, so if we, I think that it would be a shame if this went to the tax sale and just sold to somebody knowing that we're working on 2, 4, 6, and 8, and then someone buys this and gouges us.
Well, that's my concern, is that if somebody, and there's those people out there that know we already purchased that block, and they say, well, geez, if we can get it for, outbid them, and then turn around and try to get 100,000 for
Or let it fall down.
Well, yeah,
it.
we're just treated badly, but I mean,
Well, If it does end up going on the tax sale, municipalities have first option on buildings.
Not anymore.
not anymore, that's the problem.
Oh,
That's why we're gonna work with Matt to try to make sure that we can get a seat at the table before that, try to gain
So-
that back through an MOU.
Is this top line the current owner or the previous owner?
Is it Denisa?
No.
It says Denise, it says Samuel.
I think that's,
Yeah, Samuel and Denisa bought it from Jeffrey Mark.
And they live in Clarence, I thought they were in California.
Both, I guess. No, they also have a property in Friendship, a
So
different property.
if your dates were, say, assumption those dates are correct, the last redemption is April 15th. At that point, we can't buy it from them directly, right?
Correct. They can't buy, yeah,
If, once it,
I
they
believe
could
so.
buy it, they could pay up the taxes.
up till April 15th.
Yeah, what, no, they would have right up to the tax auction to
No,
pay.
that's what the last redemption date is.
Alright,
There is,
At least that's
but you're right, that's what it seems like on paper, but there is.
they
some
always
kind of-
allow it right up to the
They
day of
allow
the
it.
auction.
Because the county, when the day of redemption happens, April 16th, the county is supposed to take over the property and say, no, we own this property, you didn't pay. But they don't do that because it would be a lot of paperwork to bring them into their property. So instead, they only take it on the day of the tax sale, the transfer, so then they take all the properties into possession and they sell them right out instantaneously. So they don't have to hold them and insure them and do all this stuff. So that's why they give, so the April 15th, but technically they do allow a total payment. You can redeem something up to the 15th, but then you get, if you
Right,
pay.
because I know we
after,
could
you
look
get
at
paid.
properties in the day before the
Yeah,
tax.
there is a gray area there. But we have time, and I think
Well,
that,
we don't have time if April 15th is a real
but we have
date.
till next month
Another
to.
month, but
Between now and then, I can talk to our new attorney and say, how do we get this one, tell them about the priority, and and then this could be the one we practice this new relationship with the county on, the new MOU.
I would really like to see the next meeting, a hard timeline of us spending down the grant that we're working on, and then, a pretty solid anticipation of being awarded the next grant, because as Darcy, we're dipping, and all we hear is, well, we gotta spend it down, but we don't have anything solid.
Well, so on that spend down, we gotta spend down about 600 something, and we were under contract for most of it, now it's just doing the work that we're under contract for those houses.
Can we
Yeah.
maybe see that, a timeline on paper? That might give us more heed to actually spend our own money. If we buy it with our own money and we get the next grant money, can we be reimbursed, or is that because we did it before? It has to be after we were awarded the grant?
It has to be after we were.
Even, once we're awarded the grant, we don't instantaneously start drawing on it, is that correct, or?
do you have to go through the award process, get them, that once we get totally awarded and all our insurances and all that, and then we can just start making requests based on?
But there's,
The way you'd be reimbursed for it is that money would then be freed up for a different project. So we would spend the acquisition money on 10 West Main, and then that would open up whatever we budgeted, $50,000 to put towards another project.
all right. Yeah, if we could see that for the next meeting, we have a little bit of wiggle room here. That's my thoughts, I don't know what everybody else. And then we would also know exactly what we
It
have.
kind of goes along with what we talked about Thursday and trying to figure out how we always get the spending side, but we don't get the time lapse of what grants we've applied for, so that we actually end up knowing what's left, if you will.
Right, and we'll also, he's gonna put together what it's gonna cost to buy these properties that we've already got purchase offers in.
We should see two things next month.
Yeah, a timeline and then our basically a balance of our general funds.
Okay, I think that kind of falls into what we talked about, basically, as an ongoing thing. So every
Yeah.
month we know
Yes,
where we stand, because we don't really, these guys do, which is fine. Like,
Right.
I have no objection to the way they're running it, but we as a board don't see it.
and I brought this up before, that it's a good thing we have this problem, but, I mean, we're being aggressive enough that we're spending and getting money, and
Right.
it just, right now, it's all about timing. And unfortunately, we don't anticipate everything.
Which is the last two times we got in a pickle, it was the same issue, but we never realized how to prevent it, so now we're finally getting to that
Yes.
point, I think.
Yep, all right, utilities on 2.
So there was no motion on 10.
No. Well, I didn't ask for it, but.
So I just crossed it off.
Yep.
We had discussion.
I'm not writing the thing down.
Okay.
The two main street utilities would be, gas, electric, water, sewer. The water, sewer, they said they'll work with us and not charge us during our holding time.
Motion to transfer here.
Second?
Well,
All in favor?
I would ask for discussion.
Discussion? Here's got our meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Do we have committees after this?
Yeah, it'll be quick.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got committees too.
All right, and he's gotta drive downtown probably. Are they meeting here?
It's Zoom.
Oh, okay. Oh, we are.
Jason's supposed to be on there too.
Okay. Invoices, 4th sector, and Home Depot. What's that?
For the hard hats, and then,
Is that a different invoice?
we're on, for reimbursements
Oh,
on
that's-
that, the website update and those hard hats.
It's reimbursement to Jason, so it's on his invoice. It's just
Oh,
the-
okay, that's just the receipt.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it, yep. All right, and we have, Lynn Smith,
It's on the back.
oh, that's, yours is the word processing.
Yep, there it is, right there.
Okay. So, Dave,
Second by Ed.
any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Paid administrative invoices,
Oh, what confusing.
capital invoices, we have Clinton Brown, and these are for,
Multiple contracts.
these are just contracts that we are ongoing
Yeah, you
as
see
they
it.
perform them.
Yeah, you see the lower left-hand side, you see invoice and the address, invoice for Friendship Downtown Services.
Oh, I see, here we go. Short TC Services, Grover, Main Street. Thank you.
Heard Darwin wanted to pay these.
I don't see where.
there something we need?
There's multiple invoices.
You told
You should
Total.
one,
I got a lot more than 5 checks.
me, fine.
I got yours here. I got 4 checks here.
Okay,
I got Glenn's.
Mr. Clark, it's here, Clinton Mason.
I got 8,000. Yep, 637.
Yep.
4,600. And I got 78,000 and
Oh,
6,000.
that was approved at last month,
That's right, yeah.
and then this one doesn't appear.
Gotcha. Okay, we're good.
Okay,
So moved.
3 capital invoices. Ed, second. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, real quick, the Brownfield Summit is April 21st, 22nd up in Herkimer. And the Historical Preservation Conference is April 15th, 16th, and 17th in Cooperstown. Kate and I will be speaking on a panel on the 16th.
Next meeting, March 16th,
2026.
2026.
2026. And we'll have the audit that day. Okay, motion to adjourn at 10:31.
So moved.
Ed.
Second,
Sure.
here, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Make sure if anybody runs into Craig Clark when he comes back from vacation,
We
then
got 3 committees
tell him
in
that
2
you're
minutes.
to Brian Loud's school on the golf course.
2 minutes.
Play with him and Judy.
You didn't?
Last weekend.